found poetry at a major kind of dip in my life. I'd just come through a serious car crash and immigration problems and a big breakup with my girlfriend and the band that I was in at the time. Yeah, I was in pieces, rummaging through old notebooks and journals. Most of it you couldn't even call decent scrap poetry. But there was these little gems in there. Enough of them to spark me into plucking them all out and messing around with them. I found this quite cheeky and fun. And I couldn't help doing it more and more. The funny thing is that it took me years and years of this kind of mischief before I realized that I have words in my blood. My mother being a poet, my father being a judge, maybe my life turning inside out. It was just the kind of blessing I needed to wake me up to the superpowers that I'd been born with. Superpowers.
I met Croc on the first day of high school in Swaziland. He'd flown over from Canada. We were going to an international school there. We had 45 different nationalities all living up on this hill during the sort of height of the anti-apartheid movement. So it was a very exciting time and everyone was very passionate. He was very into the art program, textiles and painting and just creating all the time.
After being immersed in the elements and culture of Southern Africa for more than half my life, how could I not be smitten with rhythm? Rhythm's everywhere, it's everything. It had caught my eyes and my ears and my heart. I'd dropped out of art school at the time and picked up the drumsticks and found myself drumming in different bands in Swaziland and South Africa. So when it came to giving voice to my poems, it's hard to stay soft when the drummer in me naturally kicked in through the way I intoned and phrased the words.
Leave your monkey in a monastery. Get thy monkeys to a monastery.
All those little inflections and enunciations in the voice were really just a drummer wanting to converse. An omniverse. An omniverse. Omniverse. Ooh. Yeah, no doubt I was crafting meaning.
My bottom line is a bass line on a double bass string.
Into clusters of words as I found my voice.
The invisible squeeze.
But eventually I discovered all along it was rhythm. Rhythm, my mother tongue, is my mother tongue.
Bushfire is all about unity.
We are unified by love, humanity, and music.
We are Africa is one.
He is a word acrobat.
Who knows, maybe I'm poet.
He's the jester.
Maybe I'm pirate.
He's got to be seen. It's as simple as that.
I started tinkering with a loop sampler and 2 microphones in my shows.
A tongue-twisted lethal language, cracking space, cracking code.
I'd beatbox and chant and moan and drone down the one mic and then rap lyrics over top of this with the other microphone. It was a way of exploring the voice as an instrument. So had I found my voice? Yes. But also no, not fully, completely.
Do you panic? Do you panic? Panic, 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 panic.
So I picked up the guitar and even dared myself to sing. Around that time, a band called Lilanga was mad enough to include me, a beginner songster, in their songwriting and shows across Swaziland and Mozambique.
So being a singer myself, I was fascinated by the music that played out of him, fresh, effortless, and his need for newness inspired a response in me. Lilanga, a colorful mixed bag of personalities. It was craziness. Crocky fit.
The search for my voice became a way of life.
Crocky Moses, South Africa.
So I went all out.
Good evening, Cape Town. I'm Crocky Moses.
I went all out learning guitar and singing and songwriting. Recording, publishing, making videos, doing workshops, embracing collaboration and performance art.
Which way to what?
Workshops and activism and.
I'm not here to blame you, even entertain you, lead you down the garden path of more smug, desperate obliviousness.
All while leaning deeper into my core vocation as a poet, as a verse amplifier, as a versifier, as a diversifier. Then a swarm of curveballs hit, and everything fell apart yet again. I had to stop all guitar playing and performing. Oddly enough, though, as I was picking up the pieces, I happened upon a folder of early song sketches from about 2007. These were all very short, lo-fi recordings where I was improvising with the voice over the guitar, but with no words, just raw melody. At the same time as I was recovering on my back, I found myself eavesdropping on the birds outside my window. These birds, like my song sketches, had this elaborate absence of words about them. So for fun, I started recording these birds and layering them with my song sketches. I didn't plan to make an album, but somehow I ended up with 11 wordless songs stitched together into a seamless soundtrack. And it made sense to just call this Elaborate Absence. It's 2021 now, and I'm finally ready to release Elaborate Absence, the album. I'm here on Turtle Island, otherwise known as Canada, where I was born, but where I haven't lived for the last 30 years. In fact, I'm embarrassed to say that until recently, I haven't seen my mother for over 9 years. So I've been an absent son, and for many of you, I've been an absent poet and absent friend. So it's my hope that this album and short film will help elaborate my absence in a way that words cannot right now. So here's to hugging you all sooner than later.